Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today, I'm looking at another puzzle by Willpower that he based off of some art from famous artwork. I didn't realize that he had done a bunch of these until I had done one from about The Scream by Edward Clint, and apparently he's got like 7 or 8 of them, I believe it was, that he mentioned he had. So I thought it'd be real fun to look at these because, you know, artwork in Sudoku is kind of fun. And this is, if you know anything about the art that it represents, I mean, this is a pretty good representation with just a couple of basic lines. So it's really cool. Anyway, this one is called American Gothic by Grant Wood. So it's if you know the artwork, it's the farmer and his wife standing in front of their home. He's got like a pitchfork. That's what this is representing. So let's jump into our rules on this one and see what we can figure out. And I'll probably end up doing as many of these ones that Willpower has done. So I'll kind of spread them out, throw them in here and there. But I just love to see this kind of stuff. It tickles me because this is the kind of stuff I studied when I was in college, at least partially studied. So anyway, what are our rules? Let's get into that and stop babbling on about the old days. So we got normal Sudoku rules apply. So every row, every column, and every 3x3 box contains the digits 1 through 9 once each. Numbers on green lines, which appeared to be German whispers, are at least 5 apart from their neighbors. So on this is a green line here. These are green lines. Now, one thing I will note on this one, it may be a bit difficult if you do have a color blindness to see these lines properly. So I'm going to try to point out which ones are which. And hopefully that will in some way assist anyone who does have a color blindness, but this may not be one of those that is going to be the easiest for those types of people to solve. Anyway, so we've got our green lines. This is a green line. We got a green lines down here, and they take on our German whispers types of rules. Numbers on the dark yellow line, which is the woman's hair, which is this. These are the dark yellow lines. Are all powers of 2. So 1, 2, 4, and 8. I don't know if there's a name technically for that rule set. I have not encountered it before, but let's continue on. Numbers may repeat on the yellow and green lines if other rules allow. Okay. Numbers on all other lines are each a set of non-repeating consecutive numbers in any order. Okay, so every other line type that we see here is going to be handled as a Renban. And that goes with, these are dark gray lines here. All of these are dark gray lines. These here are a pink color line. These are a brown line, and that should be all of them. Now, I'm not going to necessarily say that these are the same option yet until I get further down, just to make sure that that's not a special case. But anyway, those ones that I pointed out are going to be considered Renban lines. Now, numbers in cages sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. So we have a couple of cages down here. Just means that these two digits, when added together, equal that clue, which is 12 in this instance. Numbers with a V between them sum to 5. So we have a couple of V's here and here. Those two digits added together are 5. Same with that one. And numbers with a black dot between them are a ratio of 2 to 1. So these guys here, 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 and here are all black Kropki dots. So whatever this digit is, this one is double or half of it. Same for the rest of them. And then not all possible V's and dots are given. So it looks like these will also count as the Renban style of lines. And there's no mention of their eyes, so I'm assuming that's just for aesthetics. And those are our rules. So there's quite a few things to remember here, but it looks more complicated than it is, I think. But getting through the visuals might be a little bit difficult. But let's get into it and see what we can do. So, where the heck are we going to start? Well, the Renbans are going to be quite interesting because there are so many of them. 6, 7. That's an 8-cell Renban on this pink line. Same for this pink line. So this is a 7-cell Renban on this brown line, and these gray lines are lesser in terms of Renban. So it might do. My first inclination here, and particularly looking at this Renban, was to think about where can this digit go in this region. And the thought I first had to do was to start coloring. And we've already got a lot of colors here. So I don't know if that, because we know this digit is going to be in one of these two digits, but then we can't really take it along the rest of it. So I don't know that that coloring is going to work. So I'm going to avoid doing that at the moment, just because I don't want to introduce more color into this. So maybe we need to look at the lines that we have more given, not given, but we have different rule sets on, and they might be of use. The other thing we could start doing was looking at Kropki dots. But we'll look at this yellow line first. So we said that numbers on this line are all powers of 2. So they are, okay, so 1, 2, 4, and 8. So we can just put those in. Now I don't know my powers very well, but 2 to the power of 1 is 2, 2 to the power of 2 is 4, and 2 to the power of 3 would be 8. I'm guessing 2 to the power of 0 is 1, if that's how powers work in that instance. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's how it works. So that does actually give us some information. It gives us a 1, 2, 4, 8 quad here, and it also tells us that this can't be 8. So this is this can't be 4 or 1 either, because if we put either 1 or 4, we have to put a 1 or a 4, 1 and a 4 here as well, and then we break the rest of this. So this cannot be the 1 or the 4. So this is 2. This is 3, and that's going to be our jumping in point. Now it says numbers may repeat on these two lines. Yes, okay, and they're going to have to, obviously. So what can we do next? This digit here, we don't quite, well, this digit cannot be a 4 because it's also on this green German whispers. So if this was 4, it'd force this to be a 9, but you can't put a 9 on a black Kropki, so this can't be 4. Now, sadly, that seems to be about the only reduction we can make there. I guess I kind of lost the killer cages here. Do we have anything we can do with these mathematically? We're at 30 here. 10 plus 8 plus 12. No, because at least 15 left over. There's multiple ways to make 15. Well, 8, okay, again, 8 on a German whisper, though, is going to be semi-tricky, because our options are clearly very limited. We can only do, to make an 8 in 2 cells, it's 7, 1, 6, 2, and 5, 3. Well, 5, 3, and 6, 2 do not work on a German whisper, so this must be a 1, 7. Now, are we going to be able to do the same with the 10 here? Because we've removed the 1 and the 7 as being possibilities, so now we cannot have the 1, 9. We cannot have 7, 3. And 6, 4 would never work on a German whisper, so therefore this must be a 2, 8 pair. And now that we have those removed, we can go into this German whisper section that's in the killer cage, and it's going to be that we just have to have 9 and 3. It's the only way to get up to 12, so this is a 3, 9. And we're going to know now, just by basic Sudoku, these are 4, 5, and 6. And that'll get rid of a 4 here at least. Okay. Now, moving on from that. I was going to say if we can do anything, because we've got a toe hold onto this Renban. But it doesn't really give us much because it could be 2-1, it could be 2-3, it could be 8-7, it could be 8-9. There's tons of things that could be because it's only a 2-cell Renban. What about this guy though? Because we have this a 5 clue, so we know it has to be either 1-4 or 2-3. So these two digits are fairly low. So the highest this can ever be is 4, which means the highest this can ever be is 5, which means this can never be 8. Because again, all of these other than these lines, these guys here, these are Renban lines. So this gray line is a Renban line. So it has to be consecutive digits. This cannot be 8. It's 2 and 8. Now that 2 is going to say this is either a 1 or a 3. That 2 is going to remove a 2 here, so this can't be 3. Now, well, we know the polarity. Is it polarities? I always get that wrong, and I keep telling myself to learn it. Of the German whispers, where you start with you either have high or low. You can never put a 5 on a German whisper. So if you have a low digit on a German whisper, the one next to it must therefore be high, and then back up to low, etc. Well, this is a low digit, so this is high. This is low. This has to be high. So that carves this out. Then we can say this must be the 1. This must be the 7. And with that said, this is a 1 now. So this cannot be a 1. This cannot be a 4. So this has to be either, well, it can't be 6 because you can't put a 1 on both of these off of a German whisper. So it has to be either 7 or 9 because it can't be 8. And then this digit has to be from 1, 2, or 4. Now it could very well be 4 because you could put 2 9s next to it. Okay. Now, can we do anything else here? Do we have to? Well, okay, sorry. This 2 is on this Renban, so this is a 4, which means this is the 1, which means this is a 2. This digit has to be a 3 because we got 1, 2, and 4 on our Renban, so this is a 3. And we are moving a little bit here. Now, this can't be 1 or 4, so it is an 8. So we can get rid of these as 8. This is a 1-4 pair now, so this is not 1. There wasn't quite enough here. We're probably going to have to find some other Renbans to work off of. What about this guy? Because this brown line here is considered a Renban. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we can get all the way up to 9 if we need to. So I can't make that determination up here. Okay. Now these black Kropkis, I've been kind of eyeing them across when we're getting some digits here, because we're starting to reduce what these can be. And actually this one very much so, I think we can just determine it because we have Renban, which is all of these, plus we have some Sudoku pointing at this. So what can this be? Well, it can't be 1, 2, it can't be 2, 4, and it can't be 4, 8, because we already have an 8 on our Renban line. So this has to be a 3, 6, and we've got a 3 sitting here. So this is 6 and 3. Get rid of our 6 here just to clean things up a bit. Now, these guys, we cannot ever do the 3, 6 again. We can't do 1, 2 because of this. So it's either 2, and we can't do 4, 8 because of this. This is a 2, 4. This can't be 4 anymore. And now we know this Renban has 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. So it has to have at least a 5 and a 7 on it. And the other digit is the 1 or the 9. And it can't be a 1 because we have 1s here and 1 here looking at all of these. So this is a 5, 7, 9 remaining value. And this is a 4, 5, 6. These are not 5. This is the 5. Okay, so we've got a 7, 9 pair. We've got a 4, 5, 6 triple. And then, is that going to tell us what this is? I think it does, because we can't put a 3, 6 on here, because we have the 4, 5, 6 down here. So this cannot be 3, 6. It cannot be 2, 4, or 4, 8 because we have a 4 down here. So this must be a 1, 2 pair. This must therefore be an 8. And we know that this is a low digit. It's on a green German whisper line. So this has to be a high digit. So this is 8. This is not 8. No, we didn't quite have something there, but that's okay. So we know what this digit is off the bat because we have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is a 3. And just scanning around, there's a lot going on. Like I said at the beginning, there's a lot going on with this thing. So it's kind of a visual management, even though I love it. Let's see what we can put in these digits. They are 6, 7, and 9. Well, we know the 7 and the 9 can't both be down here because I'll break this. So this must be a 7 or a 9. And we know that this can't be a 6 because of this guy. So this is our 6 and this is our 7, 9. So now we've got a bunch of digits here. These must be a given of 2 and 5. Now, if we know we have a 2 and a 5, we have to have a 3 and a 4 on this portion of it because this, again, is a Renban line. So we have to have a 3. We can't have the 3 be on either of these, so therefore this is a 3, which means this is a 6. Now we know what the digits are, the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We just have to put our 4 in, and that gives us our 5, our 6, and our 4. And do we have anything further there? No, not quite yet. Okay. What about this row? It's pretty well done. There's a few things left. 5, 7, and 9, but I can't rule any of those out, so that doesn't help me. What about these two guys? These must be from 8 and 9. We got an 8 here, so we can do that. We can now put the 8 and the 9 here. And now this row is going to be better because we know there must be a 9. It has to be over. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. It didn't. I thought it was going to get us more, but it doesn't. That's fine. What about this Renban line, this gray Renban line? We know it has a 6 on it. We know it can't go down to 4. So it's either 5, 7, and 8. Well, that's all it can be, actually, is 5, 7, and 8. So we know this has to be a 1. That's going to give us our 4 and our 1. This can't be a 1. And this is 5, 7, or 8. So we know one of these two is an 8. So this is, well, we could also just say that's an 8 there, so that can't be an 8. There has to be, yeah, this is, no, yeah, we can't quite figure out this row or this region just yet, but I'm sure there's plenty more that we can do on some of these other Renbans. So let's look at or the German whisper here, let's say, because we know this is going to be a large digit. So it has to be, it can't be 6, because again, we'd have to have 1 on each side of it. It can be 7, it can't be 8, but it could be 9. Now, this actually cannot be 7, now that we think about it, because if this is 7, these have to be 1 and 2, but we already have a 1, 2 pair, so this is 9. And then this is going to have to be a low digit, because we're back to a low digit, and there's only one low digit left. Anyway, it's 4. Okay. Now, this guy here, we know there has to be a 6 on it, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9 already taken in the region. So the only things left could be 5, 6, 7, or 8, but we do have an 8 looking at it, so there can only be 5, 6, or 7, and therefore we have to have a 6 on it. Slightly minor details, but that's okay. We have to have a 4 down here because of this column. This 4 removes them from all of these, and there's a 4 here, so this is a 4. We also need, what else do we need? We need a 6, 7, and 8. No, sorry. 5, 6, and 7. And I don't think, well, this can't be 7 because we have a 7, 9 pair, so this is a 6, 7 pair. There we go. And that's going to force this to be a 5. Now these two digits are given. We could use either of the possibly the Renban or just the box logic. Let's look at the box logic because I think that might actually solve this guy over here. These have to be from 2 and 6. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. We have to have a bridge the gap between the 6 and the 8. So we have to put the 7 here. And that's going to, as stated, work these guys out. And we will just keep on moving because it looks like we're doing quite well here. This 2 here, because this is 6 and a 2 way. And then we can start looking at these 2 rows right here, here, and here. These have to be from 3, 6, and 7. 3 and 6 looks here, so this is 7. Let's get rid of those. And there wasn't anything else I don't see there now. Okay, so these have to be from 1, 8, and 9. This can't be 8. This can't be 1. Now, okay, so let's look back at our Renbans because there's a couple of things I hadn't gotten to yet, I guess. Not that I didn't miss them, I just hadn't gotten to them. So we have a 2 on this Renban already, so this can't be a 2. So this is a 5 and a 2. We also know that we have to have a 3 somewhere on this. Oh, actually, I don't think I can do that, can I? Let's look at in further. Because we know this was an 8 cell. So these have to be from what? We don't have to have a 1 or a 9, but we have to have one of them. We have to have a 3. We already have a 4. We already have a 5. We have to have a 6. And we're going to have a 7. So there has to be a 7 up here, which is going to force this to be a 7, which will give me a 5 here. These are not 5. Actually, that 7 right here gives me this 2, 8, and 7. These 2 digits are going to be givens. So this has to be 5, and this has to be 9, I believe. Yes. So that's going to give us our 1 here, which means this is an 8-9 pair. So these digits are from 3, 6, and 7. And that would be worthwhile for this column. So now we know this has to be a 4. We've got these 4s all looking into this box, so we know this is a 4. That's going to give us our 2 and our 4. And, okay, we don't quite have these other things sorted. Let's look at this guy right here, because this column only has 2 digits left in it, same with the region. They have to be from 5 and 8, and we have an 8, so we can put those in. Good, 5 and 8. Now, we've got a 4 and a 5 on this Renban. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 5 digits. Now, we know we can't have an 8 or a 9 on this Renban. So we're looking at from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we have to go 6, 5, 4. We have to get down to a 3. Because the highest we can go is 7. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. It has to get down to a 3 at some point. Because if you go the other way, 1, 2, 3, you still get the 3. So these would be 1, 2, this would be 3. But this 3 right here is seeing all of these except for this. This is our 3, and our 6, and our 3, and our 7. That 7 is going to give us our 6 and our 7. Now, we know we have a 3, a 4, and a 5. We cannot have a 7 on it. So these are either 1, 2, or 6. This cannot be 1 or 2, so it is 6. Therefore, we can only put a 2 on this because we can't get down to 1 anymore, so this is 2. There we go. These, we can probably figure out these by these cross sections of columns and rows. We have to have a 1 and a 2 in this column. Yeah, we got a 2 here, so let's put these in. That's going to get this guy figured. These two have to be from 5 and 9. And we do have the 9, so let's put them in, 5 and 9. And then these 3 are looking from 3. We have 2 3s looking in, so let's put the 3 in. We need a 7. There's a 7 here. We can put that in, and we also need a 6. And then we're just down to a couple of digits left to finalize this one. So these are 5 and 8. We have a 5 here, so let's put in our 8 and our 5. And then these two are from 1 and 9. We have the 1 here, so 9 and 1, and therefore we get 8 and 9. And there we go. Looks good. So there we go. Another one by Willpower, representative of a famous work of art. Awesome. Like I said, there's a lot going on the screen, but you kind of need it to be that way to have a good representation of what the art was. So for me, it didn't bother me, but I know there are going to be some people who may struggle with color blindness, who might not be able to get through all of this. Hopefully, by me pointing out which ones were the specific colors, and then knowing that all of the rest are just Renbans, that might be of some help. But some of these colors may look the same, so it may be hard to tell what those are. But that's kind of it's one of those fine lines you have to thread here sometimes, when there's just a certain thing that you have to put, to show in terms of color to get a picture on a Sudoku to work. But anyway, I'm going to quit rambling once again. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Like I said, I will continue to do these art-based puzzles over time, just kind of throw them in here and there. Hope you all are enjoying them. If you are, let me know, and just keep doing you. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.